Instagram, X, and TikTok, placing your message exactly where people engage. At Eagles FM Abuja, we don't just sell airtime, we deliver impact. With expert advertising advisory, strategic timing, or expanding globally, advertise smarter, reach globally, and grow faster with Eagles FM Abuja. One voice, many nations, endless possibilities. For so long, you've been silent in iOS stores. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience.
It is exactly 6 minutes gone past the hour of 9 on the AM side, and you have found the Eagles Morning Rises Breakfast Show. This is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Yes, we give you an audio-visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. And if you are given ears to this very platform, well, you deserve this. Thank you, far too kind. Now, I'd like to also take out this time, it's very important. I mean, we're growing a very new YouTube channel now, and this one, of course, is more of a visual, is an audio-visual sensation that we're putting out, so please take some time out. In fact, tell somebody to tell everybody to get on to the YouTube channel. The new YouTube channel is at Eagles TV Abuja, Subscribe, hit the bell button right there, and be a part of the sensationalism that we put out there in the most professional way at Eagles TV Abuja. All right, get there and see that what I say is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Help us survive, in this very harsh economy. All right, thank you so much. Now, you can do the same with the Facebook page wall. Thank you, by the way, for allowing yourself to be part of the growing Facebook family right there at Eagles FM Abuja. All right, do the same like you would have done with the Eagles TV channel, that is the Eagles TV Abuja channel, and give us a like, give us a following, and leave a comment in the comment section right there, and we will be there to also have some banter with words with you, trade words with you, if that will suffice. Now, my name is Udwak Daniel, and yes, we will be looking into issues that border around and about ransom payment. Ransom. When you hear ransom, what comes to your mind? Quite a number of things come to my mind, but what comes to your mind? Now, if we're talking about ransom payment and all, it will be dating back to the pre-colonial era, all right? For some of you that didn't know, yes, ransom payment is dated back to the pre-colonial era when people were abducted for slavery. In modern times, though, kidnapping for ransom became very significant in the 1990s, yes, particularly in the oil-rich Niger Delta region, where militants kidnapped oil workers and environmental degradation. So the practice gained momentum, and it began to spread to other parts of the country, with various groups including Boko Haram and terrorist organizations using it as a funding strategy. It became a funding strategy. It was no longer a cause. It was no longer an act for a cause. It became a funding strategy. Between 2011 and 2020, kidnappers received at least, follow me now and stay with me, 18.5 million US dollars. Between just 2011 and 2020, 18.5 million US dollars in ransom payments. Let's fast forward to 2022 now. The Nigerian government outlawed ransom payments, but the practice continued. And Nigerian government said, no, we don't do that. Ransom, no ransom. We will stop anybody. Oh, come on. It was just politicized. The practice continued. I mean, would you pay ransom to save your loved ones? What amount of money, what amount of business, what amount of wealth, what amount of material thing do you have that will suffice, that can commensurate with the life of a human being, a loved one? So Nigerians understood this, and the terrorists, kidnappers, abductors, they understood that language too. So they'd rather spend their life savings just to get back or regain or have their loved ones regain their freedom. According to reports now, between July 2024 and June 2025, kidnappers demanded over 48 billion naira in ransom, with 2.57 billion, that is estimated in dollars now, 1.66 million US dollars paid. That is the situation that we find ourselves in this morning and in this time and age in Nigeria. So ransom payments without release is a growing concern in Nigeria. In fact, some, when we pay ransom, they release them. Others, even after paying the ransom and hoping for your product, because human beings have now become products, waiting for your product to return home to you, unalive the person. But there's been a latest call by the minister. The minister, he has said, you know what, this time maybe we were not very serious before, but this time we are very serious now. No more ransom payment. Enough is enough. In all honesty, the recent cases of kidnapping in Nigeria, where ransom payments were made but victims were not released, have raised deep concerns. And it has raised this concern about the effectiveness of security agencies and the government's approach to addressing this issue. This issue is not new, but it has gained attention recently due to several high-profile cases. Recall that in January 2026, the Defense Minister Christopher Musa stated that the federal government does not pay ransom for abducted victims. And he went on to insisting the security forces rely on military pressure and intelligence operations to secure their release. In 2014, the group kidnapped, that's Boko Haram and other terrorist group, they've engaged kidnappings and ransom demands became a business. I mean, in 2014, if you recall, the group kidnapped over 270 schoolgirls from Chibok. That indeed sparked international outrage, even in the United States, where the then president's wife held placards saying, "Bring back." Good Lord. And since then, there have been numerous cases of kidnappings, ransom demands. Some victims never found themselves being released. They never lived to tell the story, even after ransom were paid. Now, there is our guest who's going to be speaking with us in a short bit. Still trying to connect with him now. I mean, if you've noticed that there's been a very poor network situation. I mean, it's, I don't know, connection situation going on, but we will survive. Right now, our guest is in the person of Comrade Salihu Mahmood Dantata, and he is a security expert. He's going to be adding his voice in the discourse this morning, in due course. Right. Now, I'm going to be basing this conversation on some personality who are in the den of kidnappers today. Now, the Honorable Alhassan Bawa Niworu is a former commissioner in Niger State, and Barrister Ahmed Mohammed Borgu, an INEC commissioner, was kidnapped in Niger State since October of 2025. with ransom payments of 13 million naira and 40 million naira made. Yet, no release. Other notable cases including the kidnapping of Sylvester Okechukwu, a Catholic priest who was murdered, by the way, in March 2025 despite ransom payment. So just imagine being a family member of a kidnapped victim. You are a family member to a kidnapped victim, receiving calls from kidnappers demanding ransom, and you pay. But your loved one is not released. Just imagine it. This is the reality for many Nigerians. The emotional toll on families is immense, and the lack of trust in security agencies exacerbates the situation. So how do you think that the government can support families of kidnapped victims? Is this about support and paying lip service and paying homage, or patronizing the families? Because we see that a lot. Vice President visits home of kidnapped victim, pledges the government supports the governor of the states in which the kidnapping had happened, will go to visit the homes, families of the victims' homes, and put out some very, very beautiful words of encouragement. Tell them how much the government is doing, working round the clock, so that we can get our loved ones back. It is a saddening situation, and it brings about some very, very salient questions and concerns. Will paying ransom encourage more kidnappings? That's the economic impact of this. Will paying ransom, will it encourage kidnappings, or will it diminish it? Well, I guess you already know the answer. Paying of ransom has already created a lucrative business for kidnappers. And what agencies are effective in rescuing victims? How does this impact us socially? How has the kidnappings affected communities? It has led to displacement, it has led to social unrest, it has led to fear and trembling, even in the face of words of encouragement from security agency, police, saying, oh, don't worry about it, we are on top of the situation, don't worry, we will protect you. The citizens don't trust it no more. Nobody's trusting it. Because we've seen the devastation, and we're still seeing the devastation, and we are seeing the priorities. According to some political observers, they say the priorities are very clear now. Oh, it's all about 2027. Come on. It's all about 2027. But wait, why must it be about the kidnapper? Or the kidnapped and the kidnappers? If we focus and make priority of the kidnappers and the kidnapped and the abducted and the abductees and all of that, abductors and the terrorists and all of that, and we don't even think about 2027, how then would we get a government? That's some arguments, don't you think? But here we are again. It's 2026. The much talked about, the much touted 2026 is here. Overlooking or overshadowing 2027, which is in a few months. Oh yeah, I dare say it's a few months. You think you still have time? No, we don't. Make hay while the sun shines, it says. So it's in a few months, maybe some. It has reduced now to 10 months. So we'll give you the countdown. Are we ever gonna get out of this situation? Are we setting the priorities right? Are we looking in the direction the Nigerians are looking at? Or are we clouded by distractions here and there? Who is bearing the cost of ransom payments? Oh, who is bearing the cost all the more of ransom payments? Families of the victims or the government? Well, have you ever even thought about the horrendous situation, the despicable appearance of some of these loved ones in the captive? In the den of the abductors? What is their physical situation? Are they experiencing physical molestation, psychological trauma? And after going through all that, sometimes they still will not be released. Sometimes I think we focus on, whoa, they've been released. Oh yes, that's something good. I love it. At least. But do you know that there's sometimes somebody would tell you, it was better I was unalived than to have gone through the type of torture I went through. I don't think I will ever recover. I mean, there's no coming back from that. When we now talk about the rule of law, will paying ransom undermine the rule of law? Because the implication is paying ransom may create a culture of impunity, may create, did I just say may, or it's already created that culture of impunity. And Nigerians are calling on the government to ensure and put out laws against kidnapping. Enforce them. There are the laws that they enforce it. Make it stricter. I don't know. Well, I guess we're connected with our guest now. Hello, good morning to you, comrade. Hello, comrade. Okay, that's a miss. Now, that's what I was talking about. What exactly is working in this country? I don't know. What is working? What is working? What's working? Power supply, we're paying diesel every day as an organization. I mean, I'm even a startup organization. I'm thinking about you as an entrepreneur. These are the real things that we should be focusing on. That's what I'm saying. This is not like a cry for help, but it's more like saying there are real issues, there are real problems. And one of such is this ransom payment issue. Many a time family members have said, how do you call these people to a negotiation table and you let them walk free? You might even give them gifts on their way back home. And most of the time the negotiation stalls. And then you'll say you're winning the fight against terrorism. How do you win the fight against terrorism when you're not even hands down clear, decisive, making conscious efforts? To show the people that you are leading that you don't meddle. You would not meddle. You would not stoop so low by issuing a death penalty, because that way they learn. But we've been dilly-dallying. No, let's not do death penalty. Let's do lifetime sentence. Let's just sentence them lifetime. Well, I don't know. I'm here. I'm still trying to get through with the guest. He has also been trying to get through to me, but it doesn't seem as though this will work at this point in time. But I just seriously would love to hear from you, because this is a case that we cannot turn a blind eye to anymore. We've tried. many times, maybe not to talk about it. We've tried many times to look the other way. But how is that going now? Well, here we are. Let's get with our guest now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Woodwork.
Comrade. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Here we are facing tough situations, trying to get to you, and I see the effort you're putting. God bless you in connecting with us. But we had to find other substitute. I hope you don't mind. Right. Well, here we are, comrade. I mean, ransom payment. Ransom. When we pay for ransom, are we paying for goods and services? Are we paying for commodity? What are we paying for? And when did this begin? And are we ever going to come out of this? As we already know that Honorable Al-Hassan Bawa Niworu, a former commissioner in Niger State, and Barrister Ahmed Mohammed Borgo, an INEC commissioner, were kidnapped in Niger State since October 2025 with ransom payments of 30 million naira and 40 million naira made, yet no release. What are your thoughts?
Well, you see, ransom payment has become the only remedy families have to get their captives out of captors' den. Be it as it may, that of Barrister Niworu, that of Niworu and Barrister Ahmed became a different thing, because even after the payment of the ransom, they were not released. All the bandits did and the kidnappers was to be continuously exploiting the families. In fact, they normally use the number of driver to Niworu to ask for airtime and other things. And letters were written to National Security Advisor's Office to no avail, and a lot of other information that went viral. So that is to tell you, there are certain things that when they happen, government shows concern, certain ones they don't show concern, and there should be this equality. In that particular area, it has been that difficult because from Mahmouda terrorist adventure to Lakwara and others, bandits have been having field day in that area. That particular EB, it is when you leave Mokwa, you are going to Kanji. It used to house a wildlife game reserve where you have even wild animals and all of it. And even ordinarily, when you are traveling from Mokwa to Kanji, isolated, you can find only one checking point. It is only when you are about to get to Kanji Dam, you now find soldiers of either 221 battalion or 101 with a checking point there permanently. But from the whole of Mokwa up to that Kanji Dam area, you can hardly find, except when you get to that Kanji Dam where the soldiers are barricaded. And there's only one police patrol vehicle that you can find at the center. And the whole of the place is wildlife forest where it is even dangerous. You even see it isolated. Security has not been given priority in that area. That also extends. When you get to Kanji, you go to Wawa. From Wawa, you go left, you go to Kwara North, that is towns of Kayama, where you have Kayama local government. Then when you go right, you go to Agora local government, where you have Babanatu and host of others, and it also leads you to Kebi. The whole of those places are not well covered, even as we are shouting as kidnap related and banditry is escalating to those areas. And that is why easily these bandits and insurgents can have a field day of moving from Wawa in Niger to Kayama in Kwara North. Then you go to Kishi in Oyo State, which is bordering Kayama in Kwara North. Then you move from Kayama, you go to Kosobosu, which is in Baruten local government of Kwara State. Then from Baruten, you have border with Benin Republic, also well isolated and larger forests. And that is why illegal wood logging is also happening there, and the bandits also take advantage of illegal mines and also of others. So above all, there are a lot of ungoverned areas in those places. So once they kidnap, they ask for ransom, and there's misplaced priority at the part of the security agencies too. Even though we know they are putting their best, but even the few ones that are there, they are rather engaged in communal issues, herdsmen, farmers clash that are unnecessary, leaving priority of security to be at stake.
All right, are you there?
Hello.
Yes. So
Yeah, I'm with you.
great. We'll just quickly take a timeout, right? Because we've got to pay bills. When we come back, I would like to really ask you, Comrade Salihu Dantata, where are we with the place of having to retrieve sympathizers? That we just bring down the hammer to serve as an example. Well, that will be after this timeout.
In Emirates Economy, the latest movies, TV shows, music, and live sport. Some of the best entertainment in the skies. And our family services make your journey simple and fun.
On this annoying family.
Yeah. The radio drama is
So here we are back again with a time in. Thank you for staying tuned. This is Eagles Outlook, where we talk politics and current affairs for February 3rd of 2026. And yes, we're still having that conversation and looking at a place of ransom payment, for kidnapped, for our loved ones. There's no point calling it kidnapped for our loved ones. Male, female, man, child, boy, girl, everybody has indeed gone through the den. Or most people have gone through this then, and the story has never been a very nice one. And you might as well want to tell me what you think could be the final word that will come in destroying the morale of this terrorist. That's one. Secondly, of course, what do you think could be the final penalty in terms of justice to be delivered on these people, to ensuring that at least victims' families, especially those who had paid ransom and then their loved ones were still unalived, can still find some peace, some closure. Right, the number is 0907-353-0044. Was I too fast? Let's take it slowly. 0907-353-0044. The other number would be the WhatsApp portal number, so stick to the number I gave and then stick to the WhatsApp number I'm giving now, 0909-705-4450. Now for the WhatsApp message, please go straight to the point and just leave your thoughts as clearly as possible. Include your name and your exact location, because that's how it's done on this very segment of the Prog Show. Right, still with our guest, Mr. Salihu, Comrade Salihu Mahmood Dantata. He's a security expert and he's adding his voice in the discourse this morning. Comrade, welcome back. Right.
Thank you very much.
Yes, here we are again. We're still talking this because there has been some expectations Nigerians have that government should prioritize victims' safety and rescue. Security agencies should be effective in preventing kidnappings and not just wait until the kidnapping has been done and then we start looking for how to, ransom them or get our loved ones back. Laws against ransom payment should be enforced. Are they enforced yet? Are they not? If they are not, what is it that is making it hard to enforce such laws? And transparency and accountability in ransom payments, support for victims' family, and all of this. If we put all of these together, I'd like you to start from the place of justice. Justice. What should be the law? Because sometimes Nigerians have said, most Nigerians have said, bring the heavy hammer. Put out that law that says, unalive these people straight up. But no, we saw with the Senate, they were dilly-dallying with it. At some point they said, no, that will be too harsh. Human rights kicked in and all of that. What are the challenges here?
You see, the faulty criminal justice administration is also a problem. Let there be death penalty for kidnappers and even non-state actors. That way it will serve as deterrent. For somebody who kidnapped to kill, somebody who kidnapped to exploit, why are you sparing that person? Forget about some human rights. We know we are privy to certain international human rights charter. But I want to tell you, We are a sovereign nation and our sovereignty matters to us. These are things that have escalated. So when death penalty is given for that, is not a crime, because kidnap related activities are not good things. Armed banditry are not good things. Insurgency are not good things for any country that wants to strive. Therefore, if the two chambers of the National Assembly makes it death penalty, every Nigerian, I want to tell you, will support that. Because every day, as the problem is being solved in one place, it is being done in another place. So that is to tell you, it is because certain stiff measures were not taken to serve as deterrents that is making them to misbehave and do just the way they want to do. So I think any stiff penalty like death penalty will be a welcome idea from every Nigerian, because these people have been tormenting people.
Do we have the stomach to indeed enact such?
We do with the crop of senators and House of Members. We do, because some of them are also victims. Their families were victims, so it is not when it touches you, directly. So they have the stomach to do that, because they are representatives of the people, and this must be done. Let there be death penalty for kidnappers. That, I want to tell you, will serve as deterrent, because it is unholy in any religion, in any ethnic group, for someone to go kidnap someone for ransom. Sometimes they kill, sometimes because of health hazard. Some of these people kidnapped, they lose their life. Okay, take the case of New Oruna and Barrister Ahmed. Only God knows even if they are alive. That is it. Only God knows. Because for you to be paid ransom and you refused to release, and you used driver to one of the kidnapped victims to be calling to say send card and also other things. And we have security agencies in that area. Ironically, in that Kanji, you have 221 battalion, 101 battalion. You have air weapon school there. What is happening? Are we saying division headquarters and area commands are also there? It's a larger emirate. So there are a lot of things that needed to be done in the whole.
So does it show that the people of even Niger State, from that community, from that local government, are they even safe?
Yes, they want it done. They want it done.
They want it done. All right. Well, still open phone lines now. Let's hear from you. Number is 090735300044. That is the number, 090735300044. Well, I got this message via the WhatsApp portal now. Let's go take it. This one says, it's coming from Samuel. Hello, Samuel. Says from Kujane, greetings to you, my brother. Obongudrak Daniel, greetings to you too, Samuel. Says the issue of ransom payment have become a tradition in this country because the sponsors are using it as business. Yet they will collect the ransom and still kill the victims. What is the difference between what the ritual killers and the terrorists are doing? The law in this country only works on the masses and not on the high and mighty, who are the sponsors and sympathizers of the terrorists. So the law is only on paper, not in practice. All right, thank you, my brother. You too. Have a great day. Taking the school. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. I'm Chimezie calling from Asoko.
Right, Chimezie, welcome. Talk to us.
Thank you. It's a good topic. I have to rush it because of time.
Right, please.
When you talk about ransom payment, it is criminal for terrorists to receive ransom. But we have to go into retrospect. Let's ask ourselves a question. Issa Pantami was Minister for Digital Technology and whatever. He was given up to $2 billion. I have it on record, to improve on digital security that made us to register for phone, national ID card. Till today, nothing fruitful has come out of that. Rather, we had him put me anywhere, given identity card to non-immigrants, to non-nationals of this country, opened the border for them, gave them even an electronic pass. And you had some military facilities, divisions giving identity card to Fulani herdsmen. Now ask me a question. If you are really a national or indigenous of this country, do you need identity card from a military man? I have it on my phone. I can send it to you. It happened at Lagos. It happened at Ohofia. Okay? That is by the way. What has Issa Pantami done with all this money? And for you to say that crime goes, like your analyst said, when you have two people, 3 or 4, even 100 publicly executed, for now you can't life ransom because, my brother, if you listen to somebody that is kidnapped, when these phone calls are made, you weep. How can such money, 10, 20, 50, 100 million naira, be paid if it's not traced? It's simple. CBN has a machine, a system that can magnetize all this money. Where they use this money, the system says that. The system exposes you. But there's a deep corruption. I'll give you an example so that for others to call. During this in Abuja, there's a repented, according to them, a repented Boko Haram guy. He was armed with TAFO. TAFO is a special gun used by the DSS. TAFO. And he was now a member of the DSS. I exposed that picture under the former DG, not this good one. I was cautioned by a friend there. Say, Doc, leave all these people. They know what they are doing. I felt bad. From that day, I knew that something is really wrong. When the former chief of army staff, Buratai, said that it will take 20 years for insurgency to be defeated, has the military authorities called him to order? With the minister who told you that where these people are, bombs can penetrate them. Donald Trump dashed them little. Today, have we heard about that? Now, finally, if we really want to fight this, start from the telecommunication. With your iPhone, with your smartphone, you can track any phone anywhere. There's a deep conspiracy, unless they have to be exercised. As for the criminals, get them executed.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate that. Well, that is Chimeze right there. Let's get back with the comrade now. But remember, I gave you the number to call. Please stop calling the second number. Stick to 0907 353 0044. Stick to that number. Well, comrade, so much being said already. Are you there, comrade? Yes. What is your take? Because I see a message that comes in, very disturbing message. Olu from Garki saying kidnappers are working hand in hand with some elements who deal in organs harvesting. This is getting even interesting and scarier. Comrade, you are a security expert. Have we done enough just yet? How deep has the complicity gone that we have not still been able to charter the course of getting back victims, loved ones, family members who have been abducted?
Well, in fairness, you can remember when 5 families were kidnapped in Buari, the efforts of the combined security helped out to rescue them. You remember in Buari, Ilori-born family, where even one lost life, a 500 level student in AB. You remember that? Then special intervention squad of the police, gas brigades, DSS, and other security agencies swung into action, combed the bushes of Mpape, Buari, and others, and even exchanged gunfire with the kidnappers and arrested some. That gathered momentum. Organ harvesting not only to areas of kidnappers. In fact, it happens on daily basis. We hear that, and the security agencies, I know they do. You see, in the police, for instance, we have intelligence response scheme, a team, IRT, where the DC Abba Kyari used to head. During the time Abba Kyari was head of that IRT, it was very, very more functional. You know that, isn't it?
Yeah.
What has become of it? Special tactical squad, when Kulu was in charge of it, it was pronounced. What has happened to this specialized squads? Basically, they were set up for anti-kidnap related cases. Because when you talk about internal security, it is the purview of the Nigerian police. But today, these specialized squads like IRT and STS that become land resolution teams, become investigation teams, which ought not to be. So I think the Inspector General of Police must also within the meager resources they have, equip the intelligence response team, special tactical squad, as well as special intervention squad. They have capable and well-trained officers that can tackle kidnap-related matters.
That's my
what
point.
has happened?
Yeah, that's my point, comrade.
You remember the Wadume case?
Yeah.
Wadume case in Taraba, where even police officers lost their case, their lives. Where is that so-called Captain Jibrin? Where is Wadume today? The courts have discharged, acquitted him. This is what you see. Where is the case of Ivan, arrested by Abba Kyari? So there is complicity, even in the system,
right,
from judiciary to policing and political office holding. So it's all complicity.
So the thing is, it's not about we don't have well-trained personnel to do their jobs.
They exist, but they are not even given the mandate, and they don't have the proper funding to tackle it.
When
Abba Kyari was...
Yeah, go ahead.
When Abba Kyari was there, it was not like this.
Good. So when I hear that they're not given the mandates and they're not given the right funding, doesn't that trace us back to the government in itself? Because, let's not, so that we don't go back and forth every time we go back and forth, Who is supposed to give them the mandate? Who is supposed to give them the morale? Who is supposed to handle the funding? Are they supposed to self-fund themselves? Because these are the hard questions.
You see, they are supposed to all have standby monies for these operations. I want to tell you, for most of standby funds.
What do you mean?
Where you have cash, standby cash, where they will have money in cash. Okay. They can use for any operation, because those things are always emergency. You can't just say, okay, you are sending officers for anti-kidnapping operations and you have to start going through procedures, bureaucracy. No, they should have monies running into millions that are there available anytime they want to move. They are fueling, they are feeding, their allowances, you give them there and then. But those things are not there, Udwak. They are not there.
Okay.
Sometimes we interface with these officers and men. How they move is by glory of God, even with the huge budgetary allocations we hear every day, the monies that are appropriated. So is it some pythons or lizards that are eating these monies?
Good, that's the question. That is the question. Was the money ever allocated? Even if the money was disbursed, did it get to the place where it's supposed to get to without some persons taking out their shares? That's my point. So we are not even serious yet, comrade. Don't you think? And that's why more people would rather forfeit the Nigerian police, forfeit the military, damn them, and go and pay ransom for their loved ones, which is not supposed to be so. So even if the Minister of Defense will sing it like a song from now till tomorrow, people will still be paying ransom, and the trend will continue, and the government is watching, and it just tells us again that we are going back round in circles and circles and circles, because the judiciary in itself is not helping. The legislative parts, arm of government, the judiciary parts of arm of government is not even helping us too. So government in itself is not helping itself. It's not helping the people. So where do we stand? Where do we go? Because we will still keep having this. If you talk about probing, if you start that probe now, comrade, it will shock you the names of people in the Senate, in the House of Reps that will be mentioned. Complicit. So where do we go? Because you and I know, as a security expert, you know that there are certain quarters that do not want, high and powerful, very few though, do not want the security network in this country to work. And don't nobody tell me that, oh, it's an international conversation. No, it's not an international burden on us. No, as much as, yes, there is funding from the international community, I have it on strong standing and right information that there are people here who have lent a helping hand, aiding the international bodies or whatever they may be, collecting these funds and networking it into our system, thereby destroying and causing chaos. So here we are again. Here we are, comrade. It really baffles me how that we are very professional when it comes to our security personnel, and on a daily basis we waste them at the forefront while combating insurgency. And look at this case of Ransom. Many times we've had tea party with negotiating with this criminals, this terrorists, and we let them go scot-free. Sometimes we even give them gifts on their way back home. If not for the recent one where one of the top commanders was killed after he came for the same tea party and they killed him. Isn't that what Nigerians have been asking for? But we cannot have our family members like the Honorable Niworu, the lawyer, the electoral person, continually go through this. I mean, this is Honorable Alasan Bawa Niworu, who was a former commissioner, in Niger State. Barrister Ahmed Mohammed Borgu is an INEC commissioner, not a former, an INEC commissioner. They were kidnapped. Which other names will be on that list? And ransom were paid 30 million, 40 million. Well, Comrade Salihu, I beg your pardon. I wish we could go further. But what will be your final thoughts on this now?
My final thought is ungoverned areas should be covered. We need the spread of security structures from the police, DSS, Army, Navy, Air Force, security and civil defense, and others. We have these resources. If we have resources to buy multi-million naira jeeps for senators, House of Rep governors, House of Rep members, governors, Mr. President, other executive secretaries, directors generals, chairmen of boards, and this and that, why can't we expand such monies we use as cost of governance to build permanent security structures in areas? When areas, nook and crannies are covered, when intelligence officers are spread, all these things will not happen. But most of these things, I want to tell you, they are like. Therefore, we call for immediate establishment of permanent security structures in ungoverned areas and spread of well-trained intelligence officers to nook and crannies of Nigeria to cope the menace of these non-state actors and kidnappers.
All right. Awesome. Well, one of our family members mentioned the issue of Issa Pentami. Do you have anything to say about that? Because I remember that time too, the technology drive and everything, the monies that we allocated, and here we are still talking the same thing. It does seem as though we just put in water in a basket. I don't know what your thoughts will be on that one too.
Well, as regards Issa Pentami as Minister of Communication, he put in his best. But the agencies charged directly with security, what communication lines do they have? Nigerian Police has Nigerian Police National Cybercrime Center. Are they adequately funded? Air Force has Intelligence Coordination Center. All these questions are things that Office of National Security Advisor must give answers to. That's just what I have to say.
Well, this one here now, before we wrap it up, is coming from Triple D from Waru. It says, good morning, Mr. UD. Good morning, man with the golden voice. Truly, what is it that is really working in this country? Road problem, light problem, water supply problem, school strike, or to protest before being paid, lecture, strike, or protest. I mean, he has enumerated a lot of things. Doctors, nurses, contractors are still protesting, not being paid. Serving workers as protesting, strike, not being paid. Someone worked for 35 years cannot get paid until he or she protests before they get paid. Fuel prices going up and down. Bandits, Boko Haram, Lakorawa, ISWAP, ISIS, you name them, is killing us freely, negotiating without any impact. It's a why. And where are we heading to? I paid for ransom. I'm a victim of bandits' attack. Truly, Issa Pentami has a lot of questions to answer concerning his role during this administration as communication minister. We will get it right in the midst of all of this injustice, Triple D says. And then Turkenby says, I feel that these criminals collect millions from the victim's family, that we can say since they paid us. Okay, but why go ahead and unalive the victims? Okay, all right. Turkenby is saying if the families can still pay these monies, why still unalive the victim? These questions seem to be the question that's boggling the minds of quite a number of Nigerians. And hopefully, Comrade Saliu, I'm hoping that the honorable and the lawyer, the barrister, they will be indeed released. If not for anything, out of sheer mercy that they've tried, the families have tried, and I'm hoping that every other person in their captivity who have also paid ransom or not should be released outrightly, because enough is enough, and I really commiserate with the family of these victims, because as though they are mine. Well, thank you still once again for being a part of this conversation this morning, though.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, and we call it a close for the discourse today. 10 o'clock hour leaves us with the general open banter, and that would be